It's in the land. Someone who always can. Don't you know? Man, I can't believe it. I done survived 2020. 2021 is in the box, and I'm making it happen. Hello, everyone. This is Flobo Boyce, and this is Wassup Flobo After Hours. You know, that show where we have a grand old time of people coming up in the treehouse, special guests talking about life, liberty, and everything in it. Before I get to my special guest, though, gotta say that this episode, much like all the other episodes of What's Up Flobo, is brought to you by ClipperRanks.com. See, I'm part of Beard Gang, and you want to make sure my beard is all moisturized? I hit up ClipperRanks.com. Use promo code FLOBO for a discount. Now, I am not alone. I'm being joined by the most special guest that's going to get it right, get it tight for the brand new year. You may have seen him on AfterBuzz TV as a host. You may have seen him as an actor. You may see him as a fitness guru. You may see him as a six-pack ab salesman. You can call him punk rock. Give it up for David Christopher. How's it going, sir?
Hey, and you may now also see me wearing an annoying mask every day because of this crazy new world we're in.
Dude, it's been forever, man. I think I haven't seen you, well, at all for a year, but digitally, I guess, since the summer send-off, right?
That's crazy, man. It boggles my mind how fast one time went, and then two, we were just so used to kind of seeing each other and everyone weekly, and then all of a sudden it was just like, boom, what happened?
Yeah, the light went out.
So, yeah, it's crazy, man. So, yeah. How's it going?
I don't know, dude. I'm living large, man. Look, there's some things, and I say this all the time about 2020, the pandemic and stuff. A lot of bad stuff, you know. Like a lot of my comedy gigs went bye-bye. I wasn't working DJ stuff and stuff, but like this show came in the pandemic. All my other stuff came in the pandemic, and so it's a weird mixed bag for me, man. But this show is about me. You know, I'm the show to talk about me. Yo, how you doing, man? It's a brand new year, man. Do you have any goals off the top? Do you have any resolutions? Do you do any outlook type things?
Yeah, always, man. Always, just to kind of trickle back with you a little bit, Flo. I feel you on that kind of mixed year. I know, like, it was very crazy. The world shut down. The best way to put it, everything kind of just shut down. It literally was just a whole new life now. Everybody just kind of had to transition, had to pivot. We don't need to really dig too deep into that, but yeah, I feel you, man.
Dig. No,
well, it was hard, dude. It was hard for everybody. We had to kind of figure it out, and there was really no guidance. There was no answers. There's still really no answers. So it was kind of like day by day, month by month, week by week. So, production shut down with entertainment, which is, our bread and butter. Fortunately, training, was still good for me. That took a hit for a little bit. But everything, I think, across the board, most of us, especially in this industry, took a pretty big hit, So it was rough, but ultimately, I write the year off as a win. There was a lot of positive stuff that came out through it. It actually helped me. I think it was a year, not to put this lightly for anybody else that, had hard times last year, but it was a good, positive year that I would probably chalk up to one of the best years of my life, in multiple reasons, and that being growth, perspective, a lot of blessings that came my way, and just literally pushing forward in so many areas and aspects of my life that I think I really needed, especially at that time, and didn't realize. It was kind of like a pause button to reflect, transition, pivot, and then actually kind of refocus, which is what I did.
Can you share some blessings, or is it totally personal?
No. There's across the board, man. So, from a lot of stuff industry-wise, I actually, I came out in like a GQ magazine, which was like a dream come true. I had a bunch of publications come out on me. I brought
GQ?
GQ, man. Yeah, that was
What?
like in the beginning or early last year. Yeah.
Okay. Any tips? I want to get on GQ.
That was an amazing blessing. Yeah, man. That was awesome. I've had so many networking links just from people trying to reach out and, adapt from everything and trying to network with each other and just figure things out. So I came across a lot of awesome people that, just happened to make sense with where I was and what I'm trying to do in life. So that was really cool to, my fitness business, which I was almost kind of leaving behind, to be honest.
Yeah.
Had to transition back with everything that happened, and then just rebranched with all that and brought on a whole bunch of new clientele, which is really cool. A bunch of stuff for FitTVNetwork, which is really cool. We have some good stuff coming out this year for that. Be ready, Flobo.
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah.
But yeah. I don't babble too much. But yeah, there's some really cool stuff. That's the outside, but inside, it helped me just really kind of look in myself. I needed like a pause. I needed just to reflect, a little soul searching. You know what I mean? Recover, and I just feel refreshed. I really felt refreshed.
Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into this, but like I felt just by listening to you now that you're in a different mental space at the end of 2019. It was kind of a different punk rock. Not to go too deep into things, but now you do seem happier and livelier. Perhaps ironically, while the whole world's on fire.
That's the irony, right? That is the irony.
Yeah, so glad you're part of it. But we got some people in the chat here. If you have any questions for Dave Christopher, any comments and stuff like that on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Twitch, thank you so much. Welcome. We got, which I saw a comment earlier I thought was pretty cool, that Derek Fisher says, I thought David was TJP for a second. Which is pretty cool.
Wait, Derek Fisher, like the Derek Fish, like the fish?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
What's up, D-man?
Yeah, how's the former players union coach. And our boy Dylan Matthews, once again, lets us know that we are the AfterBuzz Tag Team Championship of the world.
Yes, we have not relinquished those titles yet. We haven't had a chance to lose them, so.
Don't know what the challenge is.
Right.
And, asked for any questions, and Derek also asked if you're Filipino from a fellow Filipino, and I was like, I'm not so sure.
You know what? It's funny. I've gotten that. Here's the thing. I feel like an alien at times. In no pun intended, but I mean it's because so many people throw so many different things at me. I get Italian, I get Asian, I get Hawaiian. I've gotten Filipino. I'm Hispanic. I am Spanish. I'm German, and I'm Mexican. So I'm a mix. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Weird. Yeah.
What do you call it? Ethnically ambiguous?
Yes, and I get that title a lot too. Yes. Check that out the box.
Like a comic book villain, but I know what you're talking about, man. Like, but back to what you were saying before about the year changing and stuff. Like for me, much like your thing, there was a period of time where I was trying to push the rock up the hill. I was like, oh man, I've been doing comedy for so long. 2020 has to be the stand-up comedy thing, and I got the gigs in Alaska and Japan. I was trying to book Australia in the March when it collapsed, and I said this on a couple of episodes. It just felt pretty hard for me when the world said entertainment was not essential, because that is something I dedicated my entire adult life to. But because of that, being able to sit there and say, okay, how can I make this work? I thought it was interesting how I could able to put that comedy into other things, like hosting these after shows or doing whatever. But you had mentioned FitTVNetwork. One of the things I wanted to mention, this is why I really want you on the show, because I have to complain a little bit. Not complain, but I have a thing. So if you guys could believe this, you guys can look on YouTube after the show. David and I worked on a show called On the Spot with Flo. And the day we recorded the first episode was the Sunday before the world shut down. So there hasn't been a second episode or whatever. But my mom asks every week, hey, are you doing one of those episodes with that friend of yours? Because you look so professional. And I was like, I don't know. I'll talk to David. I'll see what's up. So for my mom at home, will be more On the Spot with Flows.
I would love to, man. I love doing that. I thought it was a great concept. And I mean, realistically, like it did well for what it was. We didn't really have time to push it. We didn't have really much behind it at the time. So, I mean, for what it did, it was awesome. And you killed it. So I personally would love to. The only issue we have now is half the restaurants and places being shut down. So being that it's like on the road show, it's kind of like, where can we go, Flo? What do we do, man?
Yeah,
so, I mean... Yeah. I'm open to it. Absolutely. I'm totally open to it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think we'll have to wrap our head around it a little bit though, and figure out where to go to now,
Well, we got one fan. My mama is going to sit there and wait. She hasn't left her house since like 1978, but she's going to watch this show about how to do things on the road. A couple questions from Dylan. He says, was I booking an Australia trip? Yes, Australia, or particularly Sydney and Melbourne were like the bucket list travel cities I always wanted to go. And I said 2020 was going to be it if I got the cash from some gigs that came down. And Derek Fisher asks, is Flobo keeping his tree all year round? This is my Christmas tree. For those who don't know, in Caribbean culture, we keep the tree up until the Epiphany, which is January.
That's 2nd. Awesome. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. It's coming out Wednesday night.
You know what though? Christmas is my favorite time of the year, and I vowed this year to not let the world being on fire like ruin that. I was like, you know what? Regardless, I'm gonna keep positive spirits. I'm gonna try and take in Christmas for what it is and just be happy. Yeah. So yeah. I support that. Keep it going, Flo.
I appreciate 100%. It, man. Is Christmas your favorite holiday?
It is, and not for like presents or any of the commercial material stuff, but just because I love that time of year. Everybody is like, I want to say, for lack of better words, on their best behavior. But it's just like everybody's actually nice and giving and friendly, and it's just like like bright colors, Christmas trees, and I'm a big big faith in God, so I love the fact that it's for Jesus Christ.
Sure.
So yeah, I love all that.
Yeah. Did you have what's the second favorite holiday? Like, what's the drop off? Is it like Christmas and Arbor Day? Is it like Christmas and Independence? Like, what's the second?
That's a tough one, man. Yeah, that's tough because I know probably most people say their favorite's Halloween, but I think mine would probably be maybe 4th of July, just for the fact that you get to go out and have fun with friends. You know what I mean? Just like. It's a junk, and hang out, and it's just fun. You know what I mean?
That is so on brand. You'll pick a tank top holiday, David. I just love 4th of July.
I didn't even think about that. That wasn't intentional.
Well, the holiday season is something I've come to appreciate. New Year's Day is my favorite holiday. It was a nice, quiet Friday. Got to watch the honeymoon and do all my thing. But I got to ask you, man, FitTV CEO, you're on the spot here. No pun intended. Did you do like the diet or the holidays thing, or does the thing go out the window? How do you balance that?
See, here's the thing, man. I this COVID thing threw me off. In the beginning, I was like, oh, like robot, dude. I was like working out, body weight stuff every day, filming content, workouts, all that kind of stuff. Then later in the year, I got super busy, so I kind of like got off track with that. Holidays kicked in. I started eating a little crappy, but still trying to maintain. And so I was kind of like in the middle. I didn't go off like bad, but at the same time, I wasn't like where I was in the beginning of the year, you know what I mean? So I think I just kind of was like neutral, kind of maintained in the middle. Now I'm back on top of it again, but I splurged a little bit in the holidays. I went to the East Coast and saw my sister, and we went out a few times, and you got to live a little, you know what I mean? So I had some fun.
I don't know. I see how many abs you got. I'm like, I don't know if you lived on. I had pizza last week. I don't know, Dave.
Lighting, dude. It's all lighting.
Wait. What does living little look like? Is it like, I mean, because I had some person, I won't name her names, but I asked her, how does she go crazy? And she's like, oh, I have half a cookie. You're like, that does not count. So I got to ask, when you go ham, what does a cheat day look like?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I go all in. Like half a cookie, that would no. Like I'm addicted to cookies. I love cookies. But on top of that, so let's see. I had a bunch of cookies. I had some cake. So I definitely spent a lot of time with family during this time. My mom always makes some good food during the holidays. So there was let's see, pecan pie. I had fudge. I had chocolate cake. Just like all like the fixins, with like Thanksgiving, and then same thing with Christmas holiday food. Then you have those like little sweet holiday cookies, those sugar cookies, and dude, I was like, I don't care. I'm just eating it. I'm eating it, man.
Dude, I'm whatever. A fat kid. In my case, I'm always a fat kid. So I try to do things, but I'm like, nah, man, I'm good, And then
I think I'm a fat kid at heart, dude. So I feel
that's what's up, dude. Like, it was funny because, back at our former job at AfterBuzz, there would be like the 7-Eleven across the street, and that was pretty much where on the spot came from, because on that corner of AfterBuzz, it was like the diner that was like, either you're gonna pay $20 for a salad, or you're gonna like cobble together some snack foods. And I broke so many diets waiting for those shows to load. So
no joke, bro. That was my go-to. That 7-Eleven, or like when I was just like really hungry, I'm like, that's it. I'm going go to the diner.
Whatever, man. I can't pass that on air, bro. That's
right.
So how does your business look now, too? Do you still do house calls? Is it all online with FitTVNetwork? How do people buy into your fitness side of your brand?
So the virtual has definitely picked up, of course, which is really cool. And that was a new experience for me, which is, like I said, it was a natural pivot because I had known in the back of my mind that I need to shift this way anyways, and I just kind of lagged on it, So when all this happened, obviously everything was kind of online. So it forced me to do that and kind of learn it more and understand it and do that. So yes, that picked up. On the flip side, I still had other clients that referred other clients, and they're like, hey, we need someone in person. The online stuff doesn't work. Do you mind coming? I'm like, well, the world's completely shut down, so I do have time, sure, and so yeah, I picked that up and been doing that, and I mean, I'm slammed. This time I'm, before that was like my main thing, right? So I was just 24/7 going at it. Now, I have X amount of days that I dedicate to that. Same thing with the virtual stuff, and then now I have all the other stuff that trying to do entertainment again, and like my network and stuff like that. So it's a better balance now, and I'm thankful that it is doing as well as it is right now with obviously everything else that's going on. Cause I know it's hard times, man. And when it all first happened, like I got a big hit. I took a big hit. So it was scary for a little bit, you know? But you know, good old JC, took care of me.
Yeah, JC, man. I told this before the time we had lunch this year. But this is a story I like telling like my bestest friends. So about 2 years ago, my ex-girlfriend had a death in her family, and she went to a wake. And you know, I know some cultures have the prayer cards. You know, that has like the picture of the prayer hands, the rosary, or whatever.
Right.
This prayer card had a picture of Jesus Christ in the Redeemer pose, which is like the spread out pose, the one you see in like Rio de Janeiro. But it was cropped so awkwardly, it looked like it was squeezed. And so we brought it home and we called it Skinny Jesus. And I know it sounds kind of sacrilegious, but I put it on top of my radiator and I would say, man, Skinny Jesus, I don't know how I'm going to figure this bills out. And I tell you what, SJ has provided every single month. I've never been out in the street. I was like, yo, it's real, dude. Like I have my own little statue there on top of the thing.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah, it's a crazy vibe.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like when you really look back at even times in your life and you're like, man, this is like the hardest thing I'm going through. Like 2019 for me was like a living hell. I hate every bit of it. And you know, moments you're there like, and, you know, my thing is like strength, positivity and stuff. But there are moments in 2019 where even I was like, damn, like I don't even know. You know what I mean? Yeah. But my faith, you know, it's got me through. The point being is though, like even when you're in your hardest times, like you somehow always pull through, man. You always manage to get through. I mean, here we are still talking, chatting, even though the world was like in chaos. So it's just crazy when you really think about it. Like you always find a way through. So I just always try to remember that.
I just want to mention this. This is actually from your Instagram post that came out a couple days ago, and I'm going to read it because that's what you go to Instagram for, to read captions.
Right, of course.
So, quote, I'm reading this out of order, but quote, after coming out of hell, 2019, a year that had me feeling very frustrated, angry, bitter, and ill, literally, I said in 2020 I'll become better, stronger, and healthier again, regardless of what stood in front of me, and I will not slow down. And then if we go ahead and say, when this year started, I told myself one thing in specific: keep your foot on the gas pedal. Through flames, through wildfires and elections and pandemics and NBA stopping, you just go, you know.
I can't really. I don't know. It was weird, man. I think it's because of like I became maybe numb in a sense because of what I went through the year prior to where I was just so bottled up, so frustrated, so angry. To like when 2020 came, I'd already gone through so many different emotions, man, to where I was just like tunnel vision. I was like, I don't care what's going on, what's happening. My mind is here. That's it. And that's literally from the time the year started, I'm like, I'm getting healthier, getting my body in order. I'm pushing forward with career entertainment. I mean, and it was just like literally from the time the year started, like I was booking gigs early on in January all the way up into, you know, the pandemic happened and all that stuff. And I was just like, you know, I'm not stopping. And there were times when things got rough, but it was always my mindset was just kind of like, keep going. Do not slow down. Like it literally, like I said, keep your foot on the gas pedal. Figure it out. Keep moving forward. So oh man, I think it was just my mind had just been made up early on already, where not to sound like, you know, not have sympathy or empathy or any of that stuff, but I was just kind of like, I don't care in a sense of like, not about people, but like the stuff that's being thrown at me, you know? I don't care. I'm still going forward. So,
you know, there's a phrase that, and plus me, if I'm being too like la-di-da, you can just cut me off. Like, oh, I don't know what it is. but like, you know, I used to read the classic James Bond novels and short stories because I was into James Bond because he was a paragon of cool back then. But one of my favorite
GoldenEye, I love GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye's a good one. Yeah, GoldenEye's a good one. If you're talking about James Bond movies, I feel like Tomorrow Never Dies is the one that everyone forgets about. That's dope. Her Majesty's Secret Service is one everyone hates and I love. A View to a Kill is one I can't stand, except for the theme song. I can go all day about that. But Ian Fleming, writer of James Bond and oddly Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, one says that you only live twice. Once when you're born, and once when you stare death in the face. Now, I had my near-death experience in 2013, the end of 13, where I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to bleed out after a surgery. And I felt like that changed my perspective because when you see the end, you're just like, you know what? I'm going to give everything 100% because I thought I was going to die. This is my second chance on life. And that's why I started comedy. And once I started comedy, I was off to the races. And so it's cool to see someone like yourself having such a bad year and not taking that and using that as fuel to not try again. but you did the opposite.
Right.
You became, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good, man.
I mean, I'm human like anybody else, and I know, especially things we put out there and personas and branding and stuff. It almost seems like you got it figured out, or you're Superman, right? And by no means am I that at all. I do not have it figured out, and I am not invincible. But there, I'm also at the same time very personal. There's things that I don't like to put out, especially negative, just because as you can look around, there's plenty of negative out there. So I don't want to take part in that. I'd rather be a light in the darkness, as cheesy as that may sound. Yeah. So that's why I'm very careful with the kind of content I put out there, because it's just, there's already so much negativity. If things are bad in my life, sure, I'll share a little bit. Okay. But I don't want to just dwell on that, and like last year, man, I mean, just to kind of sum it up a little bit, I mean, I went through a breakthrough. I moved twice. I was in a car crash. I ended up in the hospital very sick. I was bedridden 3 months, had to recover from that, from surgery. I made some bad investments, lost a lot of money. I mean, you name it, dude, like boom, 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 hit me, and I'm not lying to you, man. I think there was one point there where I kind of had like a nervous breakdown, didn't realize it, because I remember waking up one day out of sleep and just like breathing heavy, really fast, like my heartbeat was racing, like my mind felt like it was spinning, and I didn't know what was going on because it never happened to me ever in my life, right? And I just woke up out of a sleep, and I was just like, whoa, why is my heart like spinning, like my head? I was just like, whoa, what is going on, and I just like felt like I couldn't breathe, and I was just like kind of like freaking out, so I had never dealt with that before, you know what I mean? I live alone, and I was by myself at that time, so I was just kind of like, whoa, like, what do I do? What do I do? So I just, I've always been big on breathing, breathing. So I started to breathe, eventually calm myself down and stuff like that. But I was like, that was kind of like an eye opener for me of like, wow, man, like you really got to get a hold of things. Like your emotions, the stress, everything going on is really starting to like literally affect your health now. And it's beating you up. And that was a sign to me where it's like, okay, things got to change. I got to get a hold of it. And then ending up in the hospital and going through surgery and, being bedridden, it was like a thing. It made me realize like how much of a blessing it is just to function every day, just to be able to see, just to be able to like move, just to be active in general. So having gone through all that, literally, like I said, I was like, I'm not going to take things for granted no more. At least I try not to. I'm human. But it was more about, like you said, being positive, flipping it to a good thing instead of a bad thing and letting it break me down, because been there already. You know what I mean? I was already there. I was just there, and I don't like it there. I want to get the hell out of here. So that was my mind.
It's funny you say that, and I don't mean funny. It's funny because like because I live by myself, and I have very similar situations. Mostly the things I'm anxious about is usually financial. You see comedians get Netflix specials, and you're like, I'm funny, but the problem we have, especially as minorities, we always equate our net worth to our self worth, and so we're kind of like, man, I ain't making money, I suck. But I want to say very, very similar. When I have those anxious moments, it's really cool to have, almost like Inception, to have that token. Now, I get made fun of for this because I'm a grown-ass man, but when I bought that Undisputed Championship, which I brought with me, there was a time when things were rough where I really thought I was going to like pass out, or my heart's going to jump out and break dance on the street corner or something. But like I kind of did the breathing thing, imagine myself, visualize myself as a champion that I am, and that kind of brought me back down to earth. So it's really cool to say that. There was a question here earlier from Haywood Wong. This is actually a good one. He asks, who can you get to shape, Jack or myself? Now I want to know what answer you're going to say. Who can get the shape, Jack Farmer or Flobo Boyce? David, if you were a trainer, which one?
Oh, wait, who can get into shape first?
Who can you whip into shape quicker, myself or my colleague, Jack Farmer?
Well, I have to see you guys now. It's been, a year since I've seen you in person, so I don't know what we're looking like these days. That's tough. I don't think I can fairly answer that. I'd like to say, I'm going to take the boring route and say I think it'd be pretty close from this perspective right now. Maybe if I see you in person, if I know, boring. But if I see you in person,
we love
it might be different.
Jack is actually the right answer though. He's doing rowing now. He's actually pretty dope.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he like really active?
Yeah, he's doing like 1,000 meters in like 40 minutes now. He's a beast.
Dang, dude, kick my butt.
I know, right? Derek Fisher says this in solidarity. He says, respect, David. I've had 5 heart surgeries in my past, so I know exactly what that feels like. And that's awesome, man. You still push through. You're a champion, Derek. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, Derek, what's up, man? That's awesome. 5 heart surgeries?
Yeah.
Did I hear that correctly?
5 heart surgeries, yeah.
See, that's way tougher than mine, man. So, yeah, definitely respect for that, especially 5, dude. You got some good angels with you, man.
Yo, for real. Charlene says, "What's up?" Also, Jason Storm, what up, yo? Rose Squad,
what up?
And Charlene asks, she says, "Is Punk Rock watching the challenge this season?"
I had a few DMs about this recently. You know what? I'll be honest. I am not so far. I'm sorry to all my challenge peeps out there. I have been slacking.
You sold out.
I haven't even. Okay, I would tell you earlier. I watched Monday Night Raw WWE for the first time in probably like a month too. By the way,
people, yeah.
I kind of fell off of WWE, so I'll catch it here and there, pieces, right?
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's just like I've been super busy lately, and I say that like in the most grateful way, but it's been kicking my ass. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to do that. The thing I finally, like over the weekend, like Cobra Kai came out, and that was like the first time I actually sat down and was like, I'm just going to freaking relax. And I had to like make myself do it too. I was like, nope, I'm sitting down and breathing and watching TV, you know? So, and that's what I watched, you know? So aside from that, I don't watch a whole lot of TV. If I do, it's late at night before I fall asleep or something. So I do need to catch up with that stuff though. I do.
I would say like, this is the part of the wrestling calendar, and this is my experience, where it becomes like the hardcore. Like if you're watching wrestling after Survivor Series through the Rumble, that's if you're just a fan of wrestling. So I feel like if I wasn't covering it, all my friends who are casuals have just dropped off. Like, yo, holla at me at the Rumble. I'm good. So like, there's nothing wrong with that, and WWE knows it too, because they're. And I always tell this to Jack, because Jack complains, like, why is it so slow? Jack, more stuff now to bring us in, but it's like. In the days before the pandemic, this is when they go on tours and have most of the live shows. Everyone's home for the holidays, so things are pretty much at season finale. You won't be. I will not yell at you if you don't
right.
watch. I haven't watched Wrestle Kingdom yet, and even the card to me didn't hit me like last year. I know, don't boo me. I'm just saying. It's a lot of wrestling out there, man. You can get really burned out if you're not careful.
Dude, I feel too like I don't know, and forgive me if this is kind of a jacked up thing to say, but I just feel like since the pandemic hit, I mean, obviously it's not the same, but it's just not as exciting. And I don't know if it's a booking or if it's just everything else going on or what, but I'm not as excited about it as I was. You know,
here's my theory, and I always get made fun of for this, but people always say that wrestling's a soap opera, and I disagree because of the presentation. It is theater in the round. It's Shakespearean, and so giant moments don't hit.
Wait, are you comparing wrestling to Shakespeare? Did you really do that? You got Shakespeare rolling his grave right now.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? It wasn't highbrow stuff back then. It's because we got dumber over time. But back then, he wrote plays for the unwashed moshes on the floor.
So you're saying Doink the Clown? Doink the Clown is Shakespearean level?
Yep.
Really?
Absolutely. I am saying that 100%.
Hot take right here.
I will write a dissertation on this. The Merchant of Venice is actually Vince McMahon. No, I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is like you have the unwashed masses, you have the king and queens up in the balconies watching this, and you need a response. And look at Keith Lee. Keith Lee had a crowd. He would show up and just squint, and everyone would be like, "Oh,
we were behind, dude. We were behind Keith Lee. We were behind that Keith Lee train for a long time. You know?
Oh, absolutely. But then when he comes to the main roster, it's like, oh, all right.
Right.
Let me clarify here, because JLJ Media says why is soap opera bad? Soap opera's not bad. It is a very specific art form, and I appreciate it. I don't watch much of it, so I can't say anything. But a lot of times people just say wrestling's a male soap opera, which is wrong for a lot of reasons. One, the storytelling's a little different than soap operas are. And two, you're implying that only men watch wrestling, which is also not true. That's why I'm always like, if it makes you understand it, cool, but I'll never be like, wrestling's a male soap opera. I'll say theater and around, living comic book. That's more me personally. But I'm not knocking soap operas. My mom would be mad at me. She would throw a shoe from Brooklyn if she heard me talking bad about Days of Our Lives circa 1985. So.
I think Flo just got triggered. I think we triggered Flo, guys.
I ain't triggered. You know what triggers me in wrestling? And this is this thing, and I know this is not a wrestling show, but what triggers me in wrestling is that there's AEW now, and I watch it, and I think it's great. I think it's solid. I think it's AAA ball. Right? But what happens is, because of the ratings or because Jericho, I get slid in DMs all the time. You're an AEW hater. And I was like, Punk Rock, dude, you know me. I live tweet Raw every week, trashing it. But yet, when I say, I think it's dumb that Kenny Omega wears those sunglasses now, he's evil. Oh, Flows, I hate him. And it's like, it's not a tribal war. We're all nerds. That triggers me, because when I was a kid, not in the Attitude Era, but before the Attitude Era and after the Attitude Era, people would make fun of you for liking wrestling. But now it's wrestling fans making fun of you for watching the wrong wrestling. It's like, what are we arguing over? Not to make it about me.
I mean, no, it's kind of been like that, but in a different way now. Like when you have the WCW, Monday Night Wars battle, like which side you want. So I think that's kind of always been it, but now it's like a different way of going about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I mean, I get where you're coming from, and I will say, Flo, you are one of the neutralist, and by neutral, I mean like open-minded guys out there. So you won't just bash to bash. So if that matters, listeners, like Flo is pretty open-minded, so he's not hating on something unless he has like a legitimate reason for it. So I can understand that, Flo.
I'm gonna clip this out and show people from now on. See, Punk Rock said, "I didn't pay."
We'll Venmo later. No, I haven't watched, like I said, a whole lot of wrestling, let alone AEW. I saw clips of the special with Brody passing, which is a bummer, or Luke Harper, whichever you prefer. Yeah. Which that was a bummer. So I watched some of that. But aside from that, I agree with you. I think it's good. I think it's definitely WCW. So many ways. But again, it's high quality. It's up there. Sometimes I think like some of the stuff they do almost kind of like influences WWE sometimes, because I feel like they're purposely trying to push the envelope. So sure. I see WWE kind of, like what's that whole underground thing they're doing, or they try to do? Remember that Raw Underground? Like, come on, like what are we doing here? Like,
hey. It's like we don't have a crowd. Let's try a second location. Right. But enough about that, because I know we have people in the chat being like, wrestling, what the hell is this about? I also want to talk to you about your acting skills. If you can imagine this, a year ago this month, I got the call from Punk Rock. He's like, hey man, you want to do background acting work? And I was like, I'm not an actor, but I went anyway, and I got to be a background actor with you, a true actor, in this feature film. Walk me through this, man. Where does acting fit in your pie chart of host, fitness guru, fanatic? Like, where does acting fit into all that stuff?
So that was an interesting thing. So I had the casting producer. I've worked with her quite a few times. She's a friend. Especially at that time, I don't think I've done actual background work in probably years, dude, to be honest, since that time. So I had just done a few jobs for her, and she had hit me up kind of last minute. It was like, hey, excuse me. She's like, hey, we have this, film they're doing. We need a few extra guys. Like, do you mind hopping in for me? She's hooked me up in the past. I'm like, all right, what do I got to do? She explained it. It's pretty, it was pretty simple, straightforward, not too bad. So I was like, cool. And I know we were like hanging out at that time and stuff. So I was like, hey, well, I reached out to her. I was like, I got a friend, he's in entertainment. He's hilarious. And I work with him. I think he'd be great. Bada bing, bada boom. Yep.
I'm an actor. I'm an actor now.
Yeah, right. Now you're an actor and you're on set and we're hanging out. And I mean, what did we really do, man? Like, kind of hung out in a bar and
we drank fake cocktails all day.
Right, right. So,
but I mean, that was. I mean, you do other things too. You actually wrote your own stuff. You had Veracity this year?
Veracity, yeah. So that's another thing that got like paused, man. So I was trying to write like this. I mean, I don't know if I can give too much away about it, but kind of like a futuristic, bad versus evil fantasy type of movie, right? So it was originally going to be a short. We're going to build up a few episodes on social media, get some steam for it, turn it into like an actual film. Obviously, with everything going on, that got put on hold, right. Which is a bummer. So acting for me is realistically all priority. I mean, you tell me, hey, we got like an awesome script, an awesome role, like boom, I'm there. I love it. That's my passion. So that for sure. I had, Angel City Heroes, which we did, which we're currently working on other stuff for that, literally in the moment. So hopefully we'll see season 2 of that. We'll see how filming and stuff goes, but hopefully
will you get Evan Mack to return on season 2 of the series?
As long as he's not too big for me now. As long as he's not too big.
Hollywood,
right? Absolutely. No, me and Mac, we still keep in touch here and there, and I love Evan. I love him. So, last time we spoke about it, he said, "Let him know he's there. He'll be there." So, absolutely. So there's that. I did a really cool thing for the first time ever with acting this past year, which really tested me, especially being a little rusty. Yeah, I got to do a short film for an up-and-coming director who's super talented, and I was the only one throughout the short film, and I had to play 3 different characters, and it had to do with like mental illness, and it was like a dramedy, because it was kind of like this guy going for his first job interview via Zoom. He's a little disconnected, a little disgruntled, doesn't really know how to work Zoom, doesn't get technology, kind of like, why are we having to do this? I hate this, Yeah. And he goes through all these different emotions in his head, kind of like a lot of us do when you go for like a job interview and stuff, right? You're kind of like, what's the right thing to say? How should I act? What should I do? And then, the back of your mind's like, oh, I fucking hate this. Like, this is so stupid, blah, blah, blah. And So different things like that. So I had to play like basically his thoughts in his head and him and do it all together. And we were like in a bathroom. So I had to make that interesting. And it was just really cool because I felt like it challenged me a lot. I've never done something like that, having to play 3 different mindsets and just be in that state for mental health and especially with everything that's going on. I was super happy about it. We got inducted to, I'm not sure how many now, but quite a bit of film festivals. We actually ended up winning Best Comedy. What film festival is that for? Forgive me, I forget. It's on my profile, so if anyone checks it out. Yeah, so we won an award for that. So I was like super happy about that. Like that made me like, I was so grateful, which is another blessing that happened last year, Flo.
Sure, yo, count the blessings, man. I'm a fan of the Awesome Box. Top of every year, I make a shoebox, cut it out, and I put every small and big victory in a box. You know, on New Year's Eve,
awesome,
I open
dude.
it up and I read it. So I'm all about that. And I hope to see more of it because I'm not sure if acting is like the dream for you. But I mean, hey, you got a face that makes you want to watch. So why not?
Right.
Why not work that? JLG Media says, I remember seeing David at AfterBuzz. He was always friendly. And Charlene is saying, what is punk rock's thoughts on working at AfterBuzz?
Well, thank you. I hope more people think I'm friendly. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you guys hanging in. Well, am I friendly? What do you think? Be honest.
Yeah, I think you're pretty friendly. Yo, you know what? Yeah, before you say your thoughts on AfterBuzz, so we were on the NXT show. And you were at AfterBuzz before I was, so this is kind of like disrespectful if I think about it. But I got an email saying, "Hey, there's this guy. His name is David Christopher, which is a name you really can't imagine what someone looks like, right?" So I'm thinking like, you know, like a guy from like who lives in his mom's basement. You know what I mean? The small glasses and everything. He wants to be part
Nice.
of the NXT panel. I'm like, all right. And so I wait, and this angelic music plays, and all 12 abs, perfectly gelled back hair. Leather jacket in Southern California, sachets in there, punk rock on his knuckles, being like, "Hey, how's it going? My name's David." I'm like, "Whoa, what? All right, don't show me up, bro." So no, we hit on ever since, man. It was great. But no, your opinion on AfterBuzz.
Well, for that great build up now. I mean,
it was cool.
I know. I love you, Flo. You're always the best hype man, honestly, dude. And thoughts on AfterBuzz? Truthfully, you know, we had I think all of us just have our typical moans and groans and being in the workplace type of stuff, right? But I mean, ultimately, I love the experience. I enjoyed meeting. I mean, I wouldn't know you, Flo, if it wasn't for AfterBuzz. You know,
yeah,
I loved being there. I love getting to host and chat and talk with everybody and just do what we love. You know what I mean? So I really can't say anything bad about it. I mean, I'm bummed on kind of the situation everything is in right now. Like
sure.
that's really crappy. But I do hope one day somehow we can connect again or something, or I don't know, hopefully things work out in the end. But I loved being there. I thought it was fun. Everybody there was supportive. They're always, you know, just friendly, as we say, and just kind of rooting for everybody. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed it.
It's funny to say this. I'm not sure if you know this story. So we did NXT about the last summer, 2019, and then 2019. So about a month before that, I wanted to do my own show, much like this one at AfterBuzz, because I saw other hosts do their shows, and I was told AfterBuzz was filled, and I said, "What about Black Hollywood Live?" And apparently I was not black enough to be Black Hollywood Live. My show died. Not the point of the story. But what was the point was I was going to quit AfterBuzz. I was so frustrated that I came in, I grinded, I kept the shows up for them. But the one time I had a creative idea, I was like shut down. So pretty much it was immature of me, but I was gonna quit. But what happened was, by pure luck and happenstance, Jim had went back to Chicago for a bit. TK had her own personal things, and the NXT show was just you, me, and Emily May, but the energy was there. And we would just talk after shows, like, yo, how do we get more views? How do we come up with this segment? Remember the Christmas episode? Like, that
Right.
was the spark to keep me in that, like, that pushed me like a whole nother year now I think about it. Because, okay, great, I'm jaded on this part of AfterBuzz, but the people out here are working on this NXT brand. They want to go. Why the heck not, you know?
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that, Flo. I think many of us there had that moment where you think like, I'm packing my box and leaving. You know what I mean? And not, like I said, not to talk bad about AfterBuzz, but I think it's just like you said, just the normal frustrations and the normal of being in this industry and wanting to move forward and seeing other things happen not in your timing, and other people get things that, you know, obviously you want to be doing. And so it's just that normal kind of like, I think, comparing yourself and getting frustrated. And truthfully, like I had that moment too. I think before I did NXT, and it's funny, Evan, again, I love you, brother, because I was like this close to same here, leaving AfterBuzz. And then Evan talked me into like going into NXT, you know. I remember talking to him, he's like, dude, do NXT, like go to that one. So I was like, all right, I got my wheel spinning, you know what I mean, gave it a shot. And then going in there with you guys and just the energy, the vibe, and just having so much fun, man. And I was just like, you know, it just kind of like relit that whole fire in me again. And I was like, you know, like I love this place. Like, I don't want to leave. You know what I mean? Like, this is just fun. It's so much fun. So I feel you, Flo. I feel you have those moments, you know?
Absolutely. And then Lars Newt is actually one of my compatriots on the e-casting side, the esports side. By the way, go Hive. Lars says, I think we all been there, do things online, you just want to walk. Hell yeah, man. I know my work. Sometimes I don't.
Right.
And then Matthew says, hi, my name is Flobo Boyce, and I'm just not black enough. I
mean, how you doing, brother?
Dude, if I wasn't a comedian, I'd be offended, but that's hilarious. Oh, yeah, let's have some fun, man. Let's play a little game, man. It's called Lightning Round. You know, I'm going to ask you some quick questions, and I want you to be as honest as possible. Don't you be lying. Okay? Question number 1, your childhood crush.
Like in school or like entertainment, like TV?
Childhood crush, number 1. First girl comes to your mind.
Dude, that's hard.
Mine was Carmen Sandiego, by the way.
That's interesting. Like, if we're going that route, I had a huge crush on like Lizzie McGuire. I thought she was super hot. Let's see. I don't remember the girls' names in school. I can picture their faces, but I don't necessarily remember the names. So forgive me on that. But I know Lizzie McGuire had a big crush on. Jennifer Love Hewitt, I was like head over heels for. I think I even had her poster or something like that. So I was really big into that.
Say no more, fam.
I know you're going with that
one. Favorite cheat meal?
Cheat meal? Easy. Either cookies or pizza. Chocolate. I got a chocolate protein bar here.
I'm getting dragged with Carmen Sandiego. Look, man, she was a rapscallion that loved geography. She was cultured, James.
Is that why you liked her, for the culture?
Oh, of course, man. What's the lamest excuse you ever made to get out of going to church?
Oh, to church. I don't think I've ever got out of going to church, to be honest. I mean, so
sorry.
I mean, right now, like, well, when I was a kid, I didn't really, you know, like my parents were very like, they would even like dress me up and I'd have to be all like proper, you know, and I didn't really understand at that time, so I hated it. But my dad was like one of those dads where like you're gonna listen to me, boy, you know what I mean? So I was like, I never really got out of it. And then now, obviously, I feel like, you know, I'm going to get struck by lightning if I try to get out of it. So
my dad would have been, but he works Sundays, thankfully. Oh, we got some crushes coming in. So we got Kimberly the Pink Ranger. Always a good choice.
Yes, she was one of mine too. Yes. You did,
I was a Trini guy. I was a Trini guy. Gotta give Jamie Summers, man, for real. Okay,
ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, as someone who didn't have cable growing up in the 90s, we had a lot of these reruns from the 70s and 80s, so I get you. And, of course, Kelly Kapowski, man. Kelly Kapowski was...
Yes, dude. Okay, I'll give you that. So she was probably one of my first, and I'll give you that, because I was wanting to say about the balance like a little kid, dude, like reruns and stuff, you know? But, so I'll chalk that up there, too. She's, like, top, for sure. I still have a crush on her.
Favorite band of all time?
Blink-182.
Really? I guess.
I know. I get stuff for that, but that is the band that influenced me to play music. That's the reason why I ever picked up a guitar. I love them for multiple reasons, not just the music, but just the attitude, their humor, just what they did for like a generation. You know what I mean?
I just thought you'd been a lot more like, I don't know, like Bad Religion or like Offspring or something.
Everybody would think so, right?
Yeah, they're a good band. I like Bad Religion. I played Crazy Taxi as a kid.
Okay.
The first, he's like, what? The first thing you do after winning $1 million.
First thing after winning $1 million?
Yeah. Ooh. After taxes, you have the $1 million. Scrooge McDuck.
Oh, so we got about $50,000 after taxes. No,
oh my goodness! I'll pay some bills.
No, honestly, I have actually thought about questions like this. I don't know the exact first thing I would do, but I do have a list of things. Of course, investing into my company, my network, that's a big priority. Taking care of my mom's stuff for sure, paying off all her bills, making sure she's secure, taken care of. There's quite a few charities I'd love to donate to and eventually start my own. Provide opportunity. It'd be more of, and this is no bullshit, this isn't me just giving a diplomatic answer, but I would legitimately like to provide more opportunities, create more jobs and paths. A big goal of mine, especially in the industry, is to create new paths for people that didn't have them, like myself.
Yeah.
So if I can do that through my network in shows that I create, whether it's being on the production side or in the show or, digital, online, whatever, stuff like that, and giving back, man, truthfully, 100%.
Kevin Spacey says if you make it a certain way, you have a responsibility to put the elevator back down. JLJ Media asked, do you like the side groups Blink did? Which is a good question to ask. The side Blink-182 spinoffs.
Kind of like here and there. Like Angels is cool. Like I'll listen to it, but it's not Blink. Plus 41's cool, but it's not Blink. You know what I mean? So
right.
And Travis is in a gazillion things. So, it's cool. Like, yeah, I'll enjoy it because it is like it does stem from Blink members, but at the same time, it's still not Blink. So yeah, it's all right.
Lars Newts asks, he says his girlfriend has a goal to start a company, specifically ex-cons. That's great, Mandy. People who pay their debt to society pay their debt, and they should have a chance to contribute.
Absolutely.
This is it's funny to me. It's not funny to you. But what is your least favorite muscle group to work out on?
I think you already know, Flo. I think you already know. You want to answer that for me?
I got nothing, man. This is all you. I love them all because I am FitTV CEO.
My personal muscle group that I dislike working the most is my legs. It's not fun. I get bored with it, and I have to actually make myself do it. Like today, I did leg day, and I hated every minute of it, but wow. I did it. Yeah.
I personally, I can't stand back day because there's a very small line between getting a good workout and being like, ow, why'd I do that? Leg day I get, but the back is...
That has to do with your form then, man. That's probably your form.
I don't got time to learn stuff. I'm trying to be hot for the summer. Favorite sitcom?
Ooh, that's tough too, man. It can be anything from Saved by the Bell to Fresh Prince to Friends to Two and a Half Men. Gosh, dude, there's a list. Definitely one of those for sure.
Okay. Best basketball player of all time?
Jordan, all the way. And I know Max is gonna kill me for that. I know he's a LeBron guy, but MJ all the way.
And my next question: why is it not LeBron James?
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna put it out there. You said be honest, so I'm gonna be honest.
Please.
I think LeBron is 100% overhyped and overrated. I don't think he has the grit. I don't think he has the tenacity that Jordan had. I don't even think he's as good as Kobe. I think Kobe smashes LeBron. I do. And I know people are going to hate me for that. And I'm going to get a lot of shit. But this is my opinion. My view. I think MJ, he was the pioneer. He was the first in that sense to do things at that level and be like the great. You know what I mean? And everybody compares MJ. Everybody compares MJ for a reason because he's that guy. So, I'm happy that he helped our Lakers take home a title finally. That was awesome. So that earned some cred. He got a little cred from me for that. Right. But I still think he's overrated. I really do.
Okay, so when people come after you with pitchforks and torches, what country would you escape to?
Right.
Which country, if you had a chance, would you escape to?
You know what? I think I'm probably somewhere just nice and beachy and oceany and mallow. Somewhere where I could just kind of lay low.
They're gonna fight you anyway. Right. I'm not sure if you saw this segment on Raw, but Dylan Matthews says, "Can we talk about Dana Brooke pitting Shayna Baszler in street clothes?" I know you're a Baszler guy. You're a Baszler fan back in NXT. Is that
right?
Registered? Yeah, were you a fan of that?
I'm kind of falling off though, and I know it's because of the booking. I think they had this awesome build up there, really kicking ass with her, and then I feel like she kind of like they let her flop a little bit. You know what I mean? I haven't been too impressed with her, to be honest. I will say I am on the Dana Brooke bandwagon lately. First and foremost, forgive me because this probably sounds horrible, but I just think she's like super hot, so that caught my attention. But she's getting a good push though, and I think as far as Shayna goes, like they should be doing a little bit more with her. I think they dropped the ball a little bit.
Dylan Matthews, yes, clip that out and send it to Mac and let Mac know that you said MJ LeBron was tired.
I love picking at Mac because we back in the day we talk about that too. We talk about that. I just pick at him. I just poke at him. I'm like, nah.
I don't know if you've seen this, but we do a show called the Everything Tournament where we kind of do like this giant mashup of like versus things. And LeBron versus Jordan was in one of the rounds. And Dave, I swear to you, the show went 35 minutes. Of Evan Mack telling me why Jordan was not as good as LeBron. And I was like, you know what? I'm a casual basketball fan. The Nets win, cool. That's it. I was like, I don't know, man. I guess, sports ball. I had no idea what the hell was going on.
That is funny. No, I know Mac's very passionate about that because we've talked a little bit about this stuff. But I think it's funny because I like giving him a hard time. I like poking him a little bit. It's all in good fun, though.
I hope so. He will fly out.
If that's what I got to do to get him out here, that's what I'm going to do.
Hell yeah, man. So, again, I want to thank you so much for being on the show, man. But before we get out of here, I got to ask you the big question. 2021, Fit TV Network, Punk Rock the actor, Punk Rock the host. Is there a specific goal? Is there like a one big one, like the thing you want to land this year more than the other?
There's always a goal, always. So I'm not one for like the resolution stuff. I put it more as what am I accomplishing this year? Like what's the agenda? Not just like what I'm gonna work out this year. You know what I mean? Or it's more of kind of like tasks and stuff and timelines and all that. But ultimately, there are a few things I can't talk about right now yet. But basically, taking my network, the Fit TV Network, to the next level. Like I will give you a little secret. We have our app finally dropping earlier this year, so that's finally coming out. So with that tag to it comes a bunch of other things. I want those to go very well. Like I said, I definitely want to get in front of the camera again, acting wise. So there's two big things I'm really working on. One being Angel City Heroes. I want to see that come to fruition. Some more acting stuff, and a lot more stuff with the network that's under wraps right now. So yes, I definitely have some goals.
I got a couple more quick questions from the chat, and then we'll probably call it a day. I've been chastised by Charlene. She says, "Is David single? Don't let me down for a detail."
I am single. Yes, I am. I am single. Absolutely.
I feel so used. But she also asked, "What's your favorite football team?"
Oh, what's your favorite football team?
Mine, hers or mine?
I'm kind of bummed. I'm kind of bummed to admit right now. But I'm a loyal Dallas Cowboys. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan since I was like literally
it's
a
worse.
kid.
I'm a Texans fan.
Hey, at least we're in the same state. We're in the same state.
We're both trash though. Come on, man. Like, what's going on? Derek Fisher.
Bad.
If you got to follow Derek Fisher on Twitter if you haven't already, he's a giant Seattle Seahawks fan, and even when they're winning, he's upset. He's like, these refs are making us win by 20, not 25. I can't stand this. Hashtag go Hawks. It's like intense. It's intense. But Dave, man, I'm so glad you're able to make the space and time to hang out and chat.
Likewise, brother.
And more about it, man. Like the fact you are doing your business and growing your business during this time is inspirational as hell. But now,
thank you, brother.
You gotta put yourself over, brother. Tell me where I can find it, download it, stretch it out, work my back, improve my form.
So Fit TV Network app is coming out early in the year. There'll be a bunch of stuff if you follow my social media stuff for all that. Shooting for, I'm just gonna say March, to be safe, around March, April. Literally being worked on as we speak. And then you can find that obviously in the App Store when it comes out, or FitTVNetwork.com right now currently. You can find me Instagram, David_Christopher_official. TikTok, because I'm trying to push my TikTok now. David Christopher official, same thing. I'm slacking on Twitter.
Your Instagram is David_Christopher_official.
Yes.
Smooth, bro.
I tried to get it shorter, but literally everybody had like almost every variation of David Christopher somehow. And I'm like, what do I do? And I was working with the publicist at that time, and he's like, try to get all your Instagram to match up, make it all match up, So, that's why my TikTok, David Christopher official. Instagram is David_Christopher_official. My Facebook is David Christopher official page. So I'm trying to make it all sync up as best as I can. So yeah.
I was going to end the show here, but we got Evan Mack saying Lebron, and
Evan.
Heidi Mack is saying Evan's going to back on rock. Yeah, that's a foregone conclusion, girlfriend. You better hold your man down. He's going to beat him up pretty bad.
I love you, Mac. I love you. But at the end of the day, it's all about the MJ. Brother. You know it.
Dude, he's gonna find you, man. I know you look here in a bunker somewhere. He's gonna find you, man. Look, David will get fought. And shout out to Barry Mack and Teresa Mack, man. They're good people. But yeah, the beef is real, man. It's nuts. This is crazy. We gotta go though. We gotta go. He is David Christopher. Follow him on all the networks. My name is Flobo Boyce. The website is flobito.com and newamsterdam.com, KNWAmsterdam.com. David Christopher, say one more thing. Send us out, baby. Let's go. Say it.
Everybody have an awesome kick-ass 2021. Thank you so much for hanging out, Flobito. You're the man. This guy's kicking ass. Seriously, thank you so much, Flo, for having me. I appreciate it. Everybody have a great new year. Peace.
The